Hey, what's going on? This is your boy Jim. Hopefully, you guys are doing good today during this quarantine. Welcome to Straight to the Point, episode three. Unfortunately, John and April is not here with me right now, but our guest will join. Hey, what's going on? This is your boy Jim. Our guest will join us shortly. So, uh, hopefully, you guys are doing good today, this morning, on this Wednesday morning, almost the end of April. So, yeah, our guest today, we're going to continue on with the education from 2 weeks ago or a week ago, or somewhere like that. We're going to talk about how important, we're going to continue on how important education is. Our guest will join shortly. Hopefully, she gets on. Uh, yeah, so hopefully, with all the things that have been going on during the virus, during the pandemic, sorry, not the virus, but hopefully you guys are doing good and staying safe during this whole crazy stuff that's been going on throughout the world. Uh, I'm so grateful for all of you guys for tuning in today. Hopefully, you guys will continue to stay safe during this pandemic. And for here in the state of California, the San Francisco Bay Area, 6 counties within the San Francisco Bay Area has extended stay-at-home order till the end of next month. So that's including the county that I'm in, Contra Costa County. But hopefully, you guys are listening to your local leaders about sheltering in place, or SIP, as I would call it, SIP. So hopefully you guys are doing that and staying safe and protecting yourself and your family during this time of the craziness of the world. So hopefully you guys are doing safe. But the guest today that we're planning to have is this a good friend of mine, Lynzee Baxter. She'll be on with us shortly. Uh, so hopefully she'll get on. No, she's at home. Hopefully, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, but April will hop on shortly too. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Jim. Uh, Jim, the AJJ, one part of the AJJ. So, you guys are hopefully enjoying your morning wherever you guys are watching this so far. Uh, Sorry, I'm just. Uh, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys could see, with my ghetto setup of the my makeshift studio here, it's trying to kill time here, but until my co-host gets on, and also, you know, our guest comes on hopefully soon, and just trying to text him to see what's going on. So hopefully they can get on soon, because I know our guest has had. I know the guest that I have planned is limited. So hope I hope she gets on soon. I know the guest that I have planned is limited. So, and I hope she gets on soon. Uh, yeah. So just give me just a second here. Just trying to readjust everything here on the screen. Sorry if it's a little bit spotty, because you know. Sorry if it's a little bit spotty, because the connection is kind of where I'm at sucks. So please forgive me. So hopefully, they can get on soon. Well, where I'm at sucks. So please forgive me. So hopefully, they can get on soon. We're going to give you a brief intermission. So give us a second here.
What's up? Hey, Jimbo.
Oh, look who pops up. April, how's it going, man?
Good. Hi, everyone.
Oh, we're going to give you a brief intermission. So hold on, let me turn on the volume.
How
Anyway,
you guys
how's it
doing?
going, April?
All right.
Yeah, I was just trying to kill time before, just waiting on our guest to come on. So how's your morning? You want to tell us you want to tell the viewers how is your morning?
It's all right.
Just all right?
Nothing much.
Yeah, looks like I just woke you up. My bad.
Not good. This is what quarantine do to you guys. So just sleep, eat, and sleep and eat and sleep some more. But it's not good.
Well, basically, I was telling the folks we're going to continue on or what we talked about on our last episode about education, how important it is, and now we're just waiting on our guest to come in and talk about what got her in what inspired her to become a teacher, and also to just basically how. Oh, hey, she's coming up. Hey, what's up, Dork?
Oh,
Hey,
everyone.
April.
Hi, Lynzee.
So great
Oh
to
my
see
gosh.
you.
Good to see you too.
Let's see.
Everyone, this is our special guest for today, Lynzee Baxter.
Oh, we're live. Great.
Yes, we are.
Hey,
How are you, Lynzee?
I'm doing awesome. The weather's great over here in Utah. I couldn't ask for anything better. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
How are you guys?
We're doing good. Just started up the podcast, trying to kill some time, at least like a good 6 minutes before you guys came on. So
Great. Where's John?
he can't join us today.
Oh,
So it's just us three.
great. April, where are you? Are you in Hercules?
Yeah, I'm still in Hercules.
Great.
I'm doing okay, just work and doing some because I'm applying in BYU Hawaii, so
Oh, awesome. That's
hopefully
great.
around August or something, be able
Oh,
to.
August. Yeah, I wonder if they're still gonna be like doing online school in August.
Right.
Who knows?
So finger crossed I'll be able to get in.
Yeah. You're gonna do great. Great. Jimbo, how about you?
Same. Just trying to get my stuff together for school and eventually get started.
Yeah. Well, now's a great time to go, even if it is online.
Right.
Yeah, sure. John just said I'm there in spirit. Sorry, guys.
Oh, what is he doing? Is he working?
No, I'm not sure what he's doing actually. Yeah, I'm not sure what he's doing. So
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get started. We don't want to waste too much of your time. So what inspired you to become an educator?
I had a really awesome coach in high school, and he taught English, and I ended up just realizing that that was something that I wanted to do. So when I was a senior in high school, I just already knew that I wanted to go into education with an emphasis in coaching. So it was super easy for me to decide. I think because I obviously I love sports too, so that was just like a no brainer for me.
Cool. So that's what you planned the whole time, like becoming a teacher. That was your plan the whole time, or how did that actually come about? I know you said that when your coach inspired you to become an educator.
Uh-huh.
What uh, was that your plan the whole time to become a teacher?
I guess I didn't really start thinking about like what I wanted to do for my job until I was probably a senior, like I said, in high school. And just I think it's like once you start thinking about going to college, then obviously you start thinking about what is something that you want to study and all of that kind of stuff. But that initially when I first started like thinking about it, I just was like, if I want to be a coach, then I should go into education, which I think at that age, I didn't understand that you can be a coach without, going into education. But I'm really glad that I ended up doing that because over the years, I'll be starting my 6th year of teaching in August, and I didn't realize how much I actually love teaching more than I love coaching. So, and I don't think I would have known that unless I obviously started teaching first. So it was a plan. Like it was, once I decided that that's what I was going to do, then I just did it. And I never ended up changing my mind on it. So
Nice.
yeah.
It's pretty cool. Speaking of like what plans, like for myself, I think I go to as a student, like it's like what you say, like it is something that you've been working on it, and like it takes time or your plans to figure out what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty amazing. Like what other stuffs that you think that it like what makes you motivate more on like what you're doing right now?
As far as teaching, like what motivates me in
Yeah.
teaching, the relationships with the students, and with my coworkers, I feel like are so fulfilling. Like teaching is just a job where you put in effort, right? And you can like see it almost, in some cases you can see it immediately. And in other cases you see it like come to fruition like years later. But even if it's like a years later process for students, right, to come around and to like understand content or just anything like that, it feels so fulfilling. So the motivation that I feel like I have found from teaching is just comes from the kids. Like it just comes from them, and just them being like literally who they are, and then just making those connections is just so powerful. And it's like the job is so hard sometimes, but it just makes it so worth it because of the kids. So I would definitely say my motivation comes from them and seeing them change and progress and feeling like just watching, like just being a part of it in really small ways.
Nice. Well, John just asked a question He said, quote, Dr. Can you give some advice to those who wants to enter in the education field or at least thinking about it?
Yeah, advice. Ooh. My first piece of advice would be to set really clear expectations, like early on. Like I'm thinking of my first year teaching, and I didn't even know my own expectations, so obviously I couldn't clarify that with the kids. But I think having really clear expectations or objectives for them makes the classroom experience that first year really, really easy. I think those who want to go in the education field, like it's a matter of just remembering all the time what is that motivation, and then reminding yourself, right, whether you're a first year teacher or a 10-year teacher or you're about to retire, like remembering why you wanted to go into teaching. And that can be really valuable to remember, especially those first couple of years, because they say that if you can't make it past the first 2 years, then you're not going to end up like you're not going to end up continuing in that field. So the first couple of years are really hard because it's just something new. But my advice would be to obviously stick with it, because it ends up being so fulfilling and just life-changing, really. But just remembering why you did it in the first place, I think, is always a good place to stay.
So this is sort of a follow-up question. Do you think what you're doing right now, I'm pretty sure I already know the answer to this, so I just want to ask you anyway.
Uh-huh.
So do you think what you're doing right now, being a teacher, inspiring those that you are teaching to become a teacher?
Sorry, can you repeat it again?
So what you're doing right now, being an educator, teacher, coach, works. Uh, you, do you think that you're inspiring the next generation to become what you're doing right now?
The next teachers who are trying to, like, people who want to become teachers. Yeah, I think that it's like a cycle, right? I think whether it's with your students and they feel like they want to become teachers because of your influence, or your peers, right, who see that you are a teacher, like your friends, if your friends are wanting to become teachers too, right? I think it's all just like a cyclical cycle where it just is like feeds off each other, right? People's experiences. So I definitely think that everyone's influence has some sort of effect, and from that people choose, right, to, if they're choosing, right, to be an educator, it's more than likely that they've had really positive experiences with an educator in their life.
Yeah, I totally agree. To be honest with you, knowing you for a while, you are a great teacher, and I'm pretty sure that you're inspiring those kids that you teach or that you taught before. You're a great influence to them.
Thanks. Very nice of you.
I mean,
Yeah.
Not ruin their lives.
Liz,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead.
I said I'm just trying to not ruin their lives.
Right.
oh, we all.
Speaking, like, it's really hard, like what you said before. But if you know the needs or exactly what your students or the kids want in life. You just gotta like always have to be there with them. It just motivates them to learn more and to grow from um, being educated themselves, which is the number one priority, especially to in their future and be able to learn what they want and be able to have a better career from it. And I think that what you do, it's pretty amazing of how you motivate others like myself um, to get into the point that you um, be able to have a better future, like, and not only that, just to experience how education is like to think about it. It's very important to have your education and it's somehow in order to not to help you but to help others.
Right.
As
Yeah, I agree completely that it's like sometimes the things that we need aren't always the things that we know that we need, right? And so especially with education, like, and teenage, I work in like secondary, right? I do secondary school. So it's like a lot of times like they don't know exactly like what it is that they need or why it's so important that they're getting an education. And I do feel like that is like a part of our job, right? Is to open, right? Expand their knowledge on that kind of, just in the ways that I feel like that coach and teacher that I had specifically, it's like I didn't know that I like how fulfilling this job would have been, like unless I experienced it myself. But I never would have experienced it if I didn't feel like he like pushed me towards education and would talk to me about it. So obviously being a mentor is a huge part of being a good mentor is a part of education. So it's just such a great field. It really is. Like it just is so fulfilling. I think the other thing in this world more fulfilling than being, or equally fulfilling as being a teacher, is being a parent, right? Because it's like you see people change and grow and you're with them a lot. And so it's just such a fulfilling job.
So did you have a backup plan if you didn't go into this field?
No, I didn't.
So it's just being so just being an educator, that's your only
Great shot.
yeah.
Yep. There was no other option for me. Like I just didn't even make another option because I'm like, I'm gonna do it.
Really? So you didn't have
Yeah.
any other option to just to so you didn't have a plan B.
I didn't want any other option. I wanted this, and so then I was so certain about it that I didn't feel like I needed to make another option.
Nice. Nice. So to those folks that are graduating high school and decide to become a teacher and they're struggling, what would you say to them?
Keep
Basically,
going.
go ahead.
Keep going. I think that would be right. It's like
right,
just make little steps, little tiny steps, little goals. I think are the key.
I really like what you're saying, Lindsay. Like you say, just keep going. It reminds me of how um my professor um and psychology used to say during my summer class, I think,
Mm-hmm.
she used to say that just education is not something that you be able to see and then just not living it and not living something out of it from it. They just keep going and be able to find your path and educating yourself and be able to just go for it. And no matter what, they um, education will be able to fulfill your responsibility, like what you said before, like being a parent or like a second parent to the to the kids and to
Mm-hmm.
the students that you're teaching, and be able to help them to grow and understand more that the teachers are there for a reason, and be able to help you to um, to build your foundation as as a student.
I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think with anything in life, right, if you don't break it up into small pieces, right, then obviously it seems overwhelming or impossible to do. But it's like you just take a class at a time, a day at a time, a student at a time. It's just all that's how anything ever I feel like really gets done, or people attain the goals that they want, obviously, is because it's just small steps.
So with all the stuff that's been going on right now with the pandemic and stuff, how does the teaching work for you in this time that we're in right now? I know here where we're at right now, they're doing distant teaching, but I don't know
Hmm.
if you guys are doing that. I'm pretty sure you guys are. How does that work for you over there?
So my school district is Alpine School District here in Utah, and it's a really, really well-established district. So once the pandemic started back in March, and we stopped our last day of, right, like regular school was on a Friday, we had 2 days we had already been starting to prepare a little bit. Um, but we had our first week's curriculum um, up like online, obviously, starting that Wednesday. So the kids they had 2 days off. That allowed us to prepare the curriculum, and then they started within 2 days. And so we've been doing online ever since that. And I just really appreciated that that the district acted so fast and it kept the kids right, um like it wasn't like they had weeks off. um that way we were able to cover still like a lot of our content because I teach health, and we were only through like half of our content by the time that happened, so I still had 3 units to cover. um and so I feel like they gave us enough time to prepare. And obviously it's been a learning curve. Like it hasn't been just like super easy for them, right? I think especially the students, but also like um us teachers, I feel like m- more I just am really thinking like a lot of us were prepared in lots of ways, which I give a lot of credit to my own like experiences in college for preparing me, like already having stuff online saved and having it really organized already. So I mostly just feel for the students because their social interaction is just really limited right now. And for some kids, it's okay because they have brothers and sisters at home, but some kids have really difficult home lives. And so for them to stay at home all day is a challenge. So, but it's obviously changed a lot.
Yeah.
The one thing that I really love though, that has come from this is the principal that at my school, she's awesome. And she has just focused so much on making sure that the content is so simple and it's like just essentials. So as teachers, I do feel like we've had to go through a period of like getting rid of all the tedious work, all the work that's like not really that important, to be honest, and just focus only on the most essentials and just give them that. And to limit, we don't want them working like 8 hours a day online. So we've gone to like, for a course, it should be like an hour a week of work for them for one course. And I think that that's good. Like some people may feel like that's not enough, but it's just a lot to put on 13 and 14-year-olds, or kindergartners or even seniors in high school, right? To change in such a really short period of time.
Thank you, Lynzee.
Another question. This is from John. I don't know why he's not on right now, but so basically he's asking, is it hard to find a job as a teacher?
Depends on when you're looking for a job. If you plan early enough, then no. If you wait and you're looking in August, probably it's going to be a little bit more difficult to find a job. So usually job searching, right, is happening year round. Definitely early spring is probably the best time I would recommend. January, February. If you're looking.
Was it hard for you when you first started teaching to look for a teaching job or some type of coaching job?
It was hard because I graduated in April, and I think my first application that I put out, I maybe put out in May, and I didn't hear back by that time. So the thing with teaching is people stay in that profession until they retire. So, and if you're in a very well-established, safe community, then it's also adds in a little bit, another layer of difficulty in finding a job, because obviously people want to stay in that job. And if they feel safe in their community, then they're going to stay there a long time. So you see a lot of turnaround, right, in kind of maybe communities that are struggling, just because it's hard for people to want to live and stay in those communities for a long time. So here in Utah, when I applied in May, I couldn't find hardly any jobs because it was late. I applied too late in the season, basically. So I actually didn't get a job till the end of August, beginning of September, but that was in California. So
yeah, for those who didn't know, she used to teach for the Contra Costa Unified School District here in the West County, in West Contra Costa County. So
best district ever, best kids ever.
Well, not the best district right now, but I'm pretty sure the kids were good.
Those kids were awesome. Yeah, that was the best experience ever.
April, you got anything for her?
I think one question that my friend just texted me, because we've been talking about it too last night. If you were given three advice or any three particular uh, point to your somebody that is trying their best being in the education field, if you were given three advising for them, what would it be?
3.
Yeah, like just three main principles that ha- have helped you being a teacher.
Um, love your students. Listen to your students and trust them. I think those are the biggest things that I like. Everything is just about them, right? I think
Right.
if you focus on them and their needs and where they're at, meet them where they are, whether it's with content or just where they are socially, right? Like if they're struggling with communication, right? Instead of like, I just think meeting students where they are and walking with them forward is the best teachers that I know of do that. I just think of my coworker, her name's Emerald Levitt, and she just loves them for who they are. She's not like trying to change them and trying to be their boss, but it's like because she cares about them and loves them, then they want to learn from her. They listen to her. They change a lot because she just loves them for who they are. And then she just has a gift. So I think it's obviously all about the students. And when we remember that, then our jobs are a lot easier.
Thank you, Lynzee. Hopefully my friend will see this. So there you have it. Like
There you have it. Oh my goodness, this is so fun.
When you first started teaching, who did you look up to as a role model, as a teacher, when you first started teaching?
I thought of, so the coach that I had that really influenced me, his name, well, I actually had 2 coaches that were brothers one was my high school coach. His name is Dave Hool. And then my college coach, his name's Eric Hool. And that family has really influenced me in positive ways. So when I think about really good teachers, I think about Miss Solberg. She was my 8th grade teacher. She wrote me, okay, seriously. I remember sitting in my desk. We each had our own folder. She wrote me a note, like a specific note that said, "Dear Lynzee," and then it was like maybe 3 or 4 sentences. And she taped it on my folder. And I still have that folder with that note on it. And my first year of teaching, I thought of her and I was like, she spent that time writing me my own specific note. And because of that, I was like, I'm going to do that. And so that was something that I feel like I added into my teaching philosophy of what I wanted to do and how I wanted to reach those kids. And it's just amazing what the influences that they can have on you. It's like, I remembered that when I was 13, 14 years old, that she would write me a note, So there's multiple educators that I feel really, really like. I just had so many good ones that have influenced me. So
That's good, and I'm glad that you're having that, adding that touch to your teaching style. Even though I don't know what your teaching style is, but I'm just glad that
Right.
you're actually adding that to your teaching style.
That's what, yeah, you just learn from other people and then you just add it into your own. But it's just a part of, yeah, recognizing I've been influenced by these people, and you got to give back. Like, I think that's a part of giving back to the community, is recognizing what good you've gotten and then passing that on.
Yeah, I agree. Um, well, how, actually, in this case, is there any, April, is there anything that you want to add?
Mm, no, I think pretty much it's what everything that we discovered earlier. And thank you, Lindsay, for that. You're an awesome teacher, and for everybody that's been out there trying to uh, get the education done, I would say just keep going. Like no matter what, like you know, it is hard. It is hard sometimes, or most of the times, but if you keep your all out there, like nothing is impossible with getting a career or getting something that you want in your life. Just like what we discussed earlier with Miss Lynzee Baxter, I think you will get some motivation from her. Guys, she's an awesome teacher and she loves what she's doing. So just keep going and motivate yourself to love those kids, trust them.
There you have it, straight from April.
There you have it.
Before we wrap it up, you want to tell everybody what you're doing right now on with
I'm sitting on my porch right now.
talking about education wise.
Oh, I started a master's program. So that it's taken me a long time to want to get back into doing homework, honestly. But I started and I'll be done next year. So that's my news.
Thanks a lot.
I
Lindsay.
believe in you, Lindsay. You got this.
Thanks, April.
You got this.
You got this.
Thanks, guys.
And we want
I
to thank you.
believe in you guys too.
We want to thank you for taking your time out your morning, or I'm not sure if it's afternoon yet, close to afternoon where you're at right now. To share your thoughts and speak to the masses about how important education is and how how teachers can influence others.
Thanks for inviting me here. It's been great to talk with you guys.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Lindsay.
Thanks so much.
And hopefully we can have you on as a guest down the road soon.
As a guest. Wow. This is intense. This is the real deal here.
Hey, we're trying to help the folks out, especially during the quarantine.
Exactly. They need a piece of Jimbo and April in their lives.
And John.
And John, exactly. We all need a piece of AJJ. Isn't that the thing? Okay, never mind.
You know it.
It is.
Okay. Trying to remember. Yeah.
Well,
Great.
all right.
Well, thanks so much.
All right, folks. We're gonna end it today. We'll talk to you on another podcast.
Great.
On another
Bye.
episode. Peace.